Here are the earrings that we're going to be making. And here are the earrings in different color combinations. I had a lot of fun making these. So, let's talk about the materials we're going to need. For these earrings, you're going to need super duos, as well as 2 colors of size 11 Toho seed beads. And one of those colors should match the super duos. And you'll also need 2 head pins and 2 ear hooks. So, let's get started. I'm using a size 10 beading needle with about 2 yards of 6-pound fire line. And I'm going to start with a super duo and 2 border color seed beads. I'm going to string that on and then go through the other hole. Then I'll tie a knot. I'll continue through super duo, the 2 seed beads, and back through the other hole of the super duo. I'll start the first component with a seed bead and super duo of the same color and 2 more seed beads of the border color. String that on and go through the other hole of the super duo. Same thing again. String it on and go down through the other hole. Same thing again. String it on and go down through the other hole. Now we add a seed bead that's the same color as the super duo, and we want to go down through the other hole of that first super duo where your tail is coming out. And this kind of folds up when you pull it tight, but for this next step, you'll kind of want to unfold it into a square. You want to go through the outer 2 seed beads, so now you can add seed beads around the border. You add 3 border color seed beads and you go through the next 2. Add 3 border color seed beads, go through the next 2. Add 3 seed beads, go through the next 2. Add 3 seed beads, go through the next 2. I want to continue through the next 10 seed beads to get to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As I pull this tight, I want to kind of push the super duos in, so there's a little curve there. And we'll do that with all the components. The curved end is going to be the one facing out of the cube. We're going to make a link by adding 2 seed beads and going back through the same 2 just before where my thread is coming out. And we go back through those 2 we just added. We'll start our next component by adding a super duo, seed bead super duo in the same color, and then 2 border seed beads. String that on and go back through the other hole of the super duo. Add a seed bead super duo and 2 border color seed beads, string that on, and go through the other hole. And you can kind of hold the super duo to pull it tight. One last time, seed bead super duo, 2 seed beads, string it on, and go through the other hole. Here's where we add a seed bead that's the same color as the super duos, and we want to go through the other hole of the first super duo we started with. And even though it folds up, we want to continue through those 2 linked seed beads. At this point, I think I want to cut this tail off so it's not in my way. Okay, I've cut the tail off. So now I can continue the second component here. Now, as my thread's coming out this way, I want to work counterclockwise. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to fold out the component to a square to start adding seed beads around. 3 seed beads, go through the next 2. 3 seed beads, go through the next 2. Three seed beads, go through the next 2. Three seed beads, go through the next 2. And again, I want to keep making sure that the super duos are pressed inward inside the circle. I finished this component. I'm going to go back through these 2 seed beads on the first component, and then continue around to the next 5 seed beads, so I can make another component off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll make a link, adding 2 seed beads, going back through the 2 seed beads behind where my thread's coming out. And then back down the 2 I just added. I'm ready to make another component here. add 3 seed beads, go through the next 2. I have finished this component. I'm going to go back through the 2 seed beads in the link on the first component. I will continue through the next 5 seed beads to start the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll make another component here. Pull it tight, push the super duos down. Then I want to go back through the 2 linked seed beads in the first component. Again, through the next 5 seed beads to start my next component. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I start with 2 seed beads to form a link, going through 2 seed beads before where my thread's coming out. And back down those 2 I just added. On this last edge, we're going to be making 2 components. Add 3 seed beads, go through the next 2. This time, I want to continue through the next 10 seed beads to get to this side to make another component. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. Add 2 seed beads to make another link. Go back up the previous 2 seed beads and back down. 3 seed beads, go through the next 2. Continue through the 2 seed beads linked on the previous component. Continue around to the next 10 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go through the adjacent 2 seed beads in the first component. Then go through the next 2 seed beads. So now you're coming out of the corner of this component because there's 3 on the edge here between the links, and you're going through the middle one, or you're coming out the middle one of those 3. Here is where we will start to connect corners, edges, corner, edge, and so we will start with connecting these 3 corners. You can kind of see how it will fold up into a cube. So we're just connecting the corners and edges now. Start with a seed bead that's the same color as this super duo. All of the seed beads we add at this point are all going to be this color. So we're done with the border color. So I want to go through the corner of this one, which is the middle of the 3 seed beads between the links. Add a seed bead, find this corner. Another way to look at it is where your thread is linking here, it's 2 seed beads back from that. Add a seed bead and back through this original corner, same seed bead you're coming out of. And after putting those 3 seed beads on, they kind of come to a corner. We're going to reinforce those corners by going through only the seed beads you added, so only the Super Duo colors seed beads. We'll go through 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, we go back through the corner that I'm next to here and through the next 4 seed beads. Now I'm going to link these 2 together. I want to go down through the 2 seed beads that are on top of this Super Duo. So I go through those and back through these 2 on this component. After I've completed a corner and a link, you might want to check your head pin can go through your seed beads here. Mine's a little bit thicker, so if you're thinner you probably don't have a problem, but just want to make sure it's not so tight that it can't go through. So this one goes through, and I'll kind of check the corners as I go. Now I'm ready for my next corner, which will be this one. I have to go through the next 2 seed beads to be coming out of the corner. Add a seed bead. Find this corner. That's 2 away from the thread of the link up there. add a seed bead, and go through this corner. Thread's coming out here, so it would be 2 back from that. And then back through the original corner here. Pull that tight. You want to go through the seed beads you just added. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm pointing towards a link that's already linked, so I want to be linking this next. So I go through 2 more, so 6 total. I've gone through 4, 5, 6. So now I'm pointing towards the next link. I go through the corner and the next 3 seed beads. So I'm going through the corner and the next 2, and I need to go through 1 more. Ready for the next link. I'll be going through these 2 seed beads on this component and back through these 2 seed beads. To make the link. As I pull tight, I want to just double check that corner is not too tight. That's fine. Okay. I'm ready for my next corner. So I have to kind of fold it to find the next corner here, which is this one. I'm ready for my next corner. So I'll go through the next 2 seed beads to get to the corner. Ready for the next corner. Ready for our next corner. This link is already here. It's already linked. So we're going to continue to add this corner. Go through the next 2 seed beads to get to the corner. We have another corner here as well. So I'm going to, coming out of this, I'm going to go back through this adjacent component to get around to that side. Keep going till I'm coming out the corner. Okay, kind of looking through the whole cube, I can't find any links that are still open, so I think we're done. We've got all the corners done. So we just need to feed it back through the piece a little bit and tie a knot. So I'm going to continue. Through. And here's where I can tie a knot. I can put my needle under the thread, go through the loop once and twice, and pull. Now I'll just snip the ends and add the head pin. I've snipped the end and I'm ready to insert my head pin. So I'm going through the corner, through those 3 seed beads in the corner, and out through the opposite corner between those 3 seed beads. Now I just want to trim this and bend a loop, and I have a tool that helps me do that. Bend it a little bit this way. So it makes the loop and trims the pin. So now I have a loop to connect the ear hook through. So I'll take my ear hook and open it, feed it through the loop that I just made, and bend it back closed. And that's our finished earring. Beautiful.